Welcome to Graeme Games. My name is Graeme. This is a game. Today I'm playing Slay the Princess. There was a photosensitivity warning at the top, so I just want to make that clear, make people aware of that. I have been aware of this game for a long time. The demo came out over a year ago, I think, and it just looks incredible. The amount of detail put in the animation and the voice work and everything like that. It's a very interesting looking horror game. I've managed to not spoil anything for myself in all that time. I've been keeping kind of a side eye. Thanks to the devs for sending a key. Whatever horrors you may find in these dark spaces, have heart and see them through. There are no premature endings. There are no wrong decisions. There are only fresh perspectives and new beginnings. This is a love story. So, I probably am only going to play through one pass through things, and just wherever that may land, we'll run with it. If it ends in 5 minutes, maybe I'll try again, but I'm not going to go for like every ending or whatever, because I think this game is quite large and complex. I also still want to check out Scarlet Hollow one day. Chapter 1, The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
I'm trying to look at this stuff to determine if they actually genuinely redrew things multiple times. I don't think so. I think they were smart. I think they drew everything once and then added like a boil effect to things to give it that wiggly quality
You're here
to it.
To slay her. If you don't,
I like the parallax.
it will be the end of the world.
I thought this was a love story. I thought we were just gonna like hang out. I know the title of the game is Slay the Princess, but I was hoping that wasn't required. Oh my god, okay, okay. The end of the world, what are you talking about? Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up? Killing a princess seems kind of bad though. Can't someone else do it? Forget about it. Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending? Do I get some sort of reward for doing this? Oh, okay, thanks for telling me what to do. Sweet. I've always wanted to off a monarch. Viva la revolution. Silently continue to the cabin. I kind of like the idea of just accepting the burden of this task and plowing forward, you know? Just
You make your way up
resolve.
the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
The idea of making it like effectively two colors and then just shades is really well handled.
Before you go any further, she will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
But why am I so readily accepting everything you say? You haven't even told me what your name is.
I'm not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I
am not the hero. I somehow am participating omnisciently outside of the narrator and the hero. But now my only option is just proceed. Which, thanks to Deltarune, is a word that permanently is going to conjure up very particular
interior
images.
of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
Well, even if we don't use it to slay her, we should probably take the blade, because it's such a pristine, wonderful
the blade
object.
Is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Well, I guess if I'm gonna do it, I want to do it right, but like, I'll take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
I could just throttle her? Why does the game insist on making me think such things? Now I'm just wielding it, hey? Maybe I am the hero. Like the way that was presented is kind of throwing me off. It's a little unexpected. What a lame
The door to the basement
upstairs.
creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Yeah, we could just justify it to ourselves any way we want.
Her
Sure.
voice carries up the stairs.
Oh, come on, don't immediately start pleading.
Who's there?
Oh. The fact that it wasn't presented down here, like, is jarring in a way.
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Yeah, it wasn't like a, who's there? Or like any sort of worry or anything. It was like delivered so directly. Whoever was in charge for directing the voice acting in this probably had a huge challenge of making sure the tone of each line delivery was like appropriate.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Hi, just checking in on you. Making sure you haven't starved to death down here. You still planning to end the world? You know, just some quick questions. I think I'm here to kill you. If there was hi and hello, I would choose the soft, like, hello. I don't know what's with the excited feeling quality of that. Stay resolute.
Good. You're still listening to reason.
Well, I'm listening to
Walk
you.
down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
Only one wrist bound. That one's just seemingly the shackle is missing.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
Yeah, much of my questions have to do with like who's feeding her and stuff like that.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Pretty good guess. I didn't expect to get called out on it quite so quickly. What? No way. Why would you think that? Okay, yeah, you caught me. I'm here to slay you. Nuh-uh. I haven't decided yet. I'm just here to talk. Steal your nerves and stuff. I'm just here to talk.
Then why did you bring a knife with you? How about you drop it, and then we can chat.
I think I will hang on
She makes a
to
compelling point. What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Look at her. It's not like she's a threat. Don't you dare.
Okay, the hero is still reluctant. The narrator's staying on task here. For a second, I thought the narrator was like, yeah, you're right, drop it. Like she'd gotten the narrator's head already.
It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. Killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Yeah, I really don't know what your history is as a hero. I'm guessing killing princesses is not on your resume anywhere else, but like, how long? What sort of adventures are you on? Are you young? Have you been doing this for 50 years? Like, where are you? I'm gonna tighten my grip.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
She looks so upset with that decision. Stabby, stabby.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
She's not even trying to, like, pretend to be weak or helpless or anything like that. Like, I really assumed that's the angle that would be played here and we would have to see through it, but it's very unnerving to
You
just...
step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it.
What if I throw it? I'll be giving her a knife if it doesn't work out. Oh my god, she saw right through me. It's actually quite chilling.
So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
But if I drop it, can you just take it
She's
somehow?
armed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Do you want me to seriously just go running in and ram a knife through her now? What if she isn't bluffing? What if she kills us? Are you sure she's not armed? I'm sorry, can we just talk? I'm not dropping the blade.
Then I'm not talking to you.
Then I'm killing you? I'm trying to give you an opportunity here, but maybe that's Not. Fine, then I guess we're at an impasse. Squint at the princess while holding on to the blade.
You stare at the princess, squinting. She squints back.
The two of you are going to do this forever, aren't you?
Well, potentially. I should hope not. If the world's about to end, then maybe. It depends how we're defining forever. The rest of our lives? Squint. Harder.
You squint even harder. So does she. At least nobody's dying right now.
You're going to have to make a choice. You can't keep squinting forever. Eventually, someone is going to have to blink.
Well, my next selection will be to blink. Is it possible? Is it possible that just running in and slaying her is I feel like I would play around with options like that on not my first attempt. You know? It feels like it has the potential to be so anticlimactic. No matter if I kill her or she kills me, it's just over, right? And I'd rather play around a little bit more and kind of try and explore and see what's going on here before making such a definitive decision.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
That's what I'm looking for. That's all I'm after.
Against your better judgment,
Don't get that close.
step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed.
Eyes are enormous.
We'll be fine.
I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
Did you not want to give me more background information on this?
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Yeah, awkward. Relationship? Are you coming on to me? How would I let you out of here? How would I get you out of here? I'm here because you're supposed to end the world. There's people out there who think you're going to end the world. What do you have to say about that? What's your name? How long have you been down here? Do you know why I'm here to kill you? We've talked enough. What's your name?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Really gonna stand on ceremony here?
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
That's not inherently the most untrustworthy thing. How long have you been down here?
Too long.
Fair, but you're not helping the narrator's case.
Again, she offers no specifics.
I mean,
No
you
matter
are.
how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
Not helping your own case. Do you know why I'm here to kill you? Or could I just say, well, she knows I'm here to kill her, so not like, okay, yeah.
Do you?
No. You're apparently going to end the world. I know what I've been told. Whether or not I believe it is an entirely different matter. Or no. I will just say, yeah.
So, you're not going to share? How pointless. If you want to talk, I'll talk. But this isn't talking.
She's kind of got me there. A relationship. Yeah, I don't, yeah, I'm leaving that out. How would I get you out of here? I don't really, a lot of dialogue options disappeared all of a sudden. I didn't really want to jump straight to that, because I'm not ready to, I guess I could just ask how. No, I'm not committing to doing so.
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
To saw your arm off? I don't know. There's something in her eyes there I really don't
Her
like.
sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right?
Like, is she just asking me to move forward with a slaying?
She is. I'm sure of it.
Okay, well, I don't want to end that, so I guess I will ask, a relationship? Are you coming on to me?
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
I was not going to jump to those conclusions, but I had very limited options at that branch.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
I'm getting you out of here. I'm going to keep you locked away down here, at least for a bit. We can get to know each other better while I decide what to do.
That seems like a pretty good compromise. Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way out.
Who locked her down here?
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. You can make it easier for both of us if you help. And if you don't, I can promise that you'll come to regret that decision.
Spooky text, and again, her eyes.
You have to make a choice. Let's hope for all our sakes it's the right one.
I'm locking her in the basement. Let's get you out of here. Or just slay her? Honestly, now at this point, I'm starting to lean towards just slay her. Every answer she's given has been evil feeling. Obviously, she wants out of here, so she would say as much. I'm not reading into that specifically. Anyone trapped in any scenario would probably want a way out, regardless of how nefarious their machinations are. But, like, come on, look at that. Look at the way she's looking at me. That's bad. It's a bad look. I made my choice. Locking her seems bad. The narrator is certainly convinced of it, but jumping straight to killing her? I don't really think I want to let her out. I think I'm just going to attempt a slaying.
You charge the princess, blade trembling in your hand, but you've already lost the battle.
Do I have, like, a disease or something? Also, did she grab my arm, or what is happening? I have, like, a claw. So I'm a hero, but I'm also like a goblin or something? What am I?
She casually sidesteps your thrust before knocking you to the ground with a single blow from her elbow.
We shouldn't have hesitated.
But she doesn't stop there. She kicks you a few times for good measure, the pointed tip of her shoes feeling like a pickaxe against your fracturing bones, making sure you stay down. As you lie, crushed and broken on the basement floor, the princess kneels on your throat, with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess. As you gasp for air, she eyes you with an intense curiosity. You shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. You had the upper hand, and now look at you.
It kind of seems to me like it doesn't matter when I would have charged her with the knife, that she would have still been able to do that. I don't think I really gave up an upper hand or anything.
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
She applies more pressure, slowly squeezing what's left of your life out of your lungs.
This is the end, isn't it?
I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Oh, another chapter?
You're on a path in the woods. And at the end of that path,
Yeah, I
is a
really don't
cabin.
understand how running at her
And in the
quickly
basement
would
of
have
that
made a
cabin
difference.
Is a princess. You're here to slay her.
I'm getting a terrible sense of deja vu. Hasn't this already happened? Okay, no, but I died. What am I doing here? She's gonna kill me again. Proceed to
I
the
can
cabin.
assure you that you're not dead. And to answer your second question, you're here to slay the princess. I literally told you that a second ago.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me.
What does it matter what he knows?
Voice
There's
of the
nothing we can do
broken.
to stop her. She's just going to kill us again.
Well, you could try other things. You don't
She's
have to
not
just
going
give
to
up
kill
that
you unless
easily.
you let her. But slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the whole time second-guessing yourself.
You got a whole forest of trees out here. Find yourself a good branch to clubber from a distance, or like burn the cabin down. There are things you could be doing other than run at her with your knife. Let's assume I'm telling the truth, and all of this really did already happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything?
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
Of course we died. We couldn't land a single blow on her, and she broke every bone in our body before she decided to let us die. What were we supposed to do to stop her then? What are we supposed to do to stop her now? It's pointless.
She's just a princess. Slaying her shouldn't have been difficult, but congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right.
And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything?
If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. The princess killed us and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me.
Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would?
I mean, that's one possible outcome. I don't know how plausible it is, but you're certainly convicted in that.
If she ended the entire world, why should we even bother? We might as well just walk up to that cabin, break her chains, and let her do whatever she wants. It's all the same in the end.
Just because she's capable of ending the world doesn't mean you're not capable of slaying her. Both of those things can be true at the same time. So chin up. I believe in you.
Chin up, pretty jovial for how dramatic this all is. Let's talk about this princess. She killed me last time. How can I make sure that doesn't happen again? All she did last time around was beat me to death. How can someone like that end the world? To quote you from last time, she's just a princess. Why was she strong enough to beat me to death with her bare hands? Who locked her in the basement? What is this place? Yes, I want to know that first.
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
Okay. If people locked her away, why couldn't they slay her? Why is this falling on me?
I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special.
Aw.
You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are.
Oh, I didn't know we were special.
So now we're the hero, not the broken again?
Of course you're special. Why else would you be here?
Lifted his spirits so much he came back around a hero.
Who cares if you think we're
May have been a
special?
glitch.
As far as I can tell, the only thing special about us is that we get to experience painfully dying all over again.
You're being cagey. Why aren't you telling me? Yeah, that's fair.
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult.
Yes, but people tend to make decisions based on information, so when you leave out information, it's hard to make a decision.
Even if he's hiding something, I doubt it would help us. I'm sure knowing what he knows would only make things worse.
Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge?
So the voice of the broken and the hero are different. They are like talking to each other, so that wasn't a glitch. There are different entities at hand here.
I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic.
You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included.
Might just do it just to spite you for leaving out all this key information. Well, yeah, why was she strong enough to beat me with her bare hands?
She's just a princess. Whatever you think happened to you last time, just get it out of your head before you get to the cabin, and you'll be fine.
That doesn't seem likely. How do I make sure that doesn't happen
Like I said,
again?
If she killed you, it was probably because you didn't listen to me. Don't talk to her.
Oh, whoops. I right-clicked and that happened. Don't trust her. Just go in, do your job, save the world.
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
I mean, are they truly all aware? What if I just leave? I'll proceed. It's interesting that that's an option.
Before you go any further, she will lie. She will cheat.
Yeah.
Cheating? Why would she even bother? She didn't need to do anything like that last time. She caught us off guard last time. We'll be fine. Let's just keep our wits about us. At least one of you still has a shred of sense. Just make sure you listen to him, and not that whiner.
It's like the personality was fragmented.
If that's what you want, I guess I don't have a say here.
Yeah, you're being cut out. You're broken, you're busted, you're weary, and you're a big down.
The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
Do I just grab it and say nothing, march right in?
The blade
Kill.
is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Why do we feel so small?
Maybe I do take the narrator more seriously this time.
We don't feel small. We are small.
You didn't say anything about the mirror on the wall. This whole cabin is different than last time.
Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess.
I'm gonna look in the mirror to see what kind of weird troll I am.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
It's not a wall, it's a mirror.
What are you talking about? This isn't a wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
We should count ourselves lucky. Some things are better left unseen.
Well, that was unexpected.
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Going down with the knife immediately set her on edge last time. I'm not gonna say anything. We're just marching on down there. And we're doing our duty. That's... I just gotta be committed.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease.
Huh. This is actually kind of nice.
Don't lull yourself into a false sense of security quite so easily.
Still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Yeah, that other basement was really nice, but this time around, who would want that?
A booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Booming.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
Witness.
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming.
Yeah.
She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her.
Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago, you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there. It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his
That's me.
ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess.
Carry on then.
Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond.
I kind of assume there are at least 3 chapters. 2 chapters would be a little odd. So almost regardless of what happens here, I assume we have to go through this one more time. So I'm kind of thinking just go straight for it.
The princess towers
Oh
over
God.
you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window.
There's a
Her
window?
long
Were we
hair
going up? I
billows
thought we were
around
going
her,
down.
And a chain binds her wrist to the far wall.
We were absolutely going down.
The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants.
The perspective is doing a good job of making us feel small, the way that it was saying up above as well.
You brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity. Drop it.
I do always love when it's very crucial to a game like this. I love when any game has a mindfulness of what you've done before. So creating an entire game based around the concept of what have you tried before? What did you bring with you last time? How did that pan out? And allowing that to direct where this goes is, the game is huge. It was 10 gigabytes, and I assume that is almost entirely audio. No, not this time.
As if on command, the blade slips from your grasp. It clatters uselessly to the floor.
I definitely said tighten grip, didn't I?
But we didn't drop it. We decided to grip it tighter, remember? Are you really just going to let that happen to us? I have a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you dropped the blade. Of course we dropped it. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence. Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Is she maybe just a regular princess on the floor again still?
Kneel.
And this is somehow a manipulation, a hallucination of some kind? No.
Oh, are you still trying to defy me? I said kneel.
Your legs buckle, and your knees hit the floor.
Considering how little animation and how few scenes there are, that subtle shift down was quite cool.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk?
This time I'm not so keen on talking.
The last time we met, you told me I was destined to end the world. That thought wrapped itself around my heart. It has pulled at me since the moment I squeezed the life out of your broken lungs.
I didn't think I had said that. I think I said, I don't know why I'm here. Maybe I did bring it up. I kind of tried to dance around it.
I could feel its fundamental truth awaken me. The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new. And the world as it is now is overdue for alterations. It's time for me to seize my destiny. And you, little bird, will help me seize it.
I don't want to
Well,
help.
that gives away the game, doesn't it? It certainly does. And beyond that, it more than lends credence to our conversation in the woods. I don't love the thought that in some other reality you failed to destroy her, but what's done is done. I can only hope it helped you learn a valuable lesson.
Well, it's not like I have the same amount of autonomy this time
You are
around.
the only one who can deal with her. And if you don't, well, she's let you know what will happen, hasn't she? Then you shouldn't have trusted us with her destruction. She is inevitable. Can't you feel it? He's being melodramatic, but he's not exactly wrong, is he? What are we supposed to do to stop her? Okay. First
Sure,
things
be
first.
given a
you're
lot
going
of
to have
time to
stuff
talk it
those
out.
Pessimistic thoughts someplace far, far away and commit yourself to what needs to be done. The stakes of the situation should be perfectly clear to everyone now. If you're going to save the world, you have to have faith that you can pull this off. You can't win a battle that you've already lost in your mind.
Yeah, maybe we need to extricate the broken half of our brain that can't seem to pull it together here. What would you have me do? What do you have planned? Just because you're supposed to end the world doesn't mean you actually have to do it. You can be whatever you want to be. I have questions for you before I decide to do anything. What happened to you after I died? I'm not going to help you end the world. I don't care if something new comes after. I just can't let you do it. I'm yours to command. Pledge yourself to her. That was the one thing he said not to do. No. Be whatever you want to be.
This isn't about desire. This is about what I am. And I have little interest in discussing destiny with one that cannot see the divine truth that shines in my heart.
seemingly I'm the one who put it in your heart, so does that earn me anything? What happened after I died?
Know the limits of your privilege, little bird.
I'm sorry.
There's an empty place at my side for you to fill, if you'll have it. But it is not a place for an equal. It is a place for something worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps, or a pet.
Well, if I have a choice in that, I would prefer a priest over a pet, but I don't think I really have a choice. What would you have me do, and what do you have you planned? Yeah, I just can't let you do that.
I say, perhaps you need another lesson in submitting to your betters. Pick up that needle.
The
Do
knife?
it. It's what she wants.
No objections here. Don't know what she's planning, and I don't like that we don't know what she's planning, but we might as well pick up the blade.
Just gonna stab out our own eyes or
As your
something?
eye falls on the blade, you feel a weight. Some divine hand that sits unperceived by your senses, but that manages to push you towards its desires like an unseen puppeteer.
Oh my god, okay, everything is blocked off here. Why? What are you gonna try and make me do with it? I'm going to kill you. You're not kidding about the divine hand. Who's doing this? Is it her? Is it you? No. The only option, pick up the blade. I can't click anything. Pick up the
Reach
blade.
forward and grasp the blade.
Stand.
It's fun to play around with the UI, the environment of the game in a way that creates a more clear sense of like your desire, your actions are being overridden by graying out a series of legitimate seeming options and responses.
This one's easy. See? This isn't so bad.
He's getting into it. The broken is fully prepared to be a pet.
Yeah, we can do that. We were probably going to stand anyway.
Weirdly quiet. That was a quiet delivery. I hate you so much. All of you. Stop making me do things. I'm gonna kneel forever.
You can feel a
Stand.
creaking tension between body and will as you slowly rise to your feet, like two foes forced into an unhappy truce. The princess eyes you with soft contemplation. The moment seems to last a lifetime, the silent anticipation of what's to come dragging out the long, painful seconds. But all silences are broken eventually.
To define me is to claim we stand on level ground. We do not. You are quiet shadow, while I am brilliant radiance. Take that knife in your hand and slit your throat.
I'm still not pleased with that, but it's not as bad as stabbing my own brain through my eye or whatever I thought I was gonna have to do.
To listen to her. You're armed. Just steel your nerves, step forward, and end this.
Will I actually have that option?
Oh, we'll end this all right.
Your hand lifts the blade and brings it towards your throat. Okay, I apologize for the unclear language. End her.
Slay the princess.
Your body is sluggish and unresponsive, actively fighting against you, but you do your best to stagger forward. One step at a time, you move towards the princess.
Is she a little bit intrigued?
Slitting your throat would have been a mercy, but it seems you're in need of a harsher lesson. Plunge that knife into your lungs.
God.
I'm sorry.
Don't! As you take another step forward, the blade digs into your ribs, slicing through flesh with ease.
Blood.
It somehow feels like an entirely natural thing to do, while the simple act of walking has become an arduous impossibility. Then it slides back out, the wound burning as a small hiss of air escapes through the fresh orifice. Blood fills your lungs.
Now, do it again. Keep doing it until I give you permission to stop.
Those are just words. You don't have to listen to her.
I have had to before. There's no reason to feel that I wouldn't have
That's
to
what she
again.
wants.
You, heroic one, what are you doing? Don't just let this happen. Stop him from killing you.
I'm on it.
Your other hand locks around your wrist, struggling to keep it from perforating vital organs. And the blade still flails towards you, managing to slice bits of skin that plop to the floor to join the growing pile of blood and gore beneath you. Despite the pain, you manage to keep yourself in one piece. At least for now.
That's a lot of stabbing. Hurry up the narration.
A wounded little bird, thinking it can defy a god. It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to hurt so much. You can choose a gentle end. You can choose to leave that punctured vessel for the next.
Next what? No.
Or
Go for it.
you can pathetically struggle against yourself until the floor of this temple is painted with the bloody impressions of your futility.
Maybe we should just
Continue to approach
die.
the princess, even as the repeated gouges of your blade expose bone and muscle to the open air of the basement.
How are we possibly, let alone resisting her, but carrying on with our own eviscerated body?
You know, this would be a lot easier if you gave us a hand. My influence only goes so far, and I can only juggle so many things at once. The best I can do right now is to...
Seems like you're spinning one plate here.
Forward. Believe me, this whole ordeal would be so much easier if I didn't have to contend with free will.
You're the one making things difficult. You're the one making us hurt. She doesn't want to hurt us. She's just doing what she has to do.
Stop.
The dialogue is really inconsistent in volume. If there is a setting, which there probably is, I do think I want the voice volume to be a little louder. I wish that would have been the default, because I definitely would have done that sooner. I didn't realize it would be so simple.
As you finish crossing the room, you fall to your knees at the princess's feet, your chest heaving as your blood pools in the crevices of the stone floor, the coppery taste coating your throat. The princess kneels down, lifting your chin with her finger as her face lowers to yours.
Your devotion is misplaced. You've surrendered to delusion. But something about your defiant spirit speaks to me. You are different than you were before.
Can I be a pet now?
Perhaps, if you've learned your lesson, I can spare you from the release of death.
That's a little demeaning, isn't it? Yes, how thoughtful of her.
It's a mercy. Take it.
I think he's given up whatever say he had at the start of all this. At least one of you is sane. She's within striking distance, and she's only negotiating now because she knows you have what it takes to put an end to her. Seize the moment before it's too late.
So she's very all-powerful, but at the same time is apparently, like, incredibly vulnerable, and she knows it? Yeah, do not pledge yourself. It was very, very clear to never do that.
No!
Yes. Though your body trembles, struggling to defend itself in the face of the princess's overwhelming will, you finally manage to break through, darting to her side before she can react. The wind of your freedom rushes through you, and you channel it into a decisive blow, stabbing into the soft flesh of her ankle and severing the tendons in an act of unyielding defiance.
God, how am I possibly standing?
She falls to the floor, crashing unceremoniously to her knees.
I'm still suspicious there will be a third chapter, but maybe I've weakened her for that?
But you don't give her any time to recover. Your heart pounding with determination, you plunge your blade into her chest.
This feels like a misdirect.
As you find your target again and again, she laughs, crude emotion breaking through her once stony composure as your blade cuts her flesh.
Like she's fine.
We can do this, can't we? You always could. The decision to give you this task was not made lightly. You're here for a reason.
It's not too late to pick up the pieces. It's not too late to toss that blade aside and beg for forgiveness.
Quit being so spineless.
Shut up.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
can't believe you would actually strike me. You...
You heathen! You worm! You defiler! You don't know the consequences of your arrogance!
Before you can strike the final blow, the princess lashes out, knocking you off your feet. There's an unsettling wet pop as your spine breaks.
Maybe it would have been better to be spineless.
As you rebound towards the ceiling in a moment of disorientated lightness, she drives her fist into your chest. Your body is crushed as she pulverizes you into the floor, the ground itself breaking from the impact. You lie there, broken, beyond pain, unable to even see what she's done to you. But the princess is succumbing to her own wounds as well.
Decent.
She looks down upon her body in abject horror and disgust.
You made me use my hands. I can feel myself twisting into something new, something dull, something defiled. What have you done to me?
Made me use my hands. That was somehow
You're
the trick?
monsters and conspirators. I can't bear to watch this. The princess has been nothing but cruel to you. You should feel liberated by her fall.
But I don't feel liberated. I feel empty.
Aside from the pain, I feel fine.
Okay, but who is the body who got smashed into oblivion then?
She collapses to the floor. Her glassy eyes watch, unblinking, yet somehow still full of anguish and fear.
I got an
as the
achievement,
two of you
God
perish
Killer.
together.
Oh shit, so I did
Suppose
actually
we were
slay
never
her?
gonna get a happy ending here, were we? Don't let those be your fun, I guess.
Oh, whoops. Don't let those be your final thoughts. You saved the world. That's worth something.
Regardless of how you feel about it, it's finally over. Thank you. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Not a great resolution for myself, but... Okay, there is still a third chapter? Oh god. Oh god.
You're on a path in the woods. And at the end of the path... Okay, what the hell is that?
Okay, I thought you were just not gonna notice. This is awful.
I think he's upset. And what's he got to be upset about? We just killed a god.
Exactly. You heathens destroyed the most beautiful thing that ever was and ever will be.
He sure did simp hard fast.
You're damn right we did. You'll get over it. Can't say I have much sympathy for you. She was bad for us and you almost got us killed. You're being too generous. He did get us killed. Alright, enough chatter.
The stubborn.
I've got a thing I'm supposed to do, and if you don't mind, I'd like to do it without any more interruptions. Okay, great, you're listening. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path, if your thing is telling us about the princess, don't waste your breath. We know all about her. It's hardly a path in the woods at this point, is it?
Kind of a path, but woods is debatable.
This is just great.
It's about
Let me
flesh, I
cut to
think.
the chase. Clearly, you've already been here. Yeah, you think?
Actually, I don't think we have been here.
Maybe not here, but at this point in time.
This is all different, isn't it?
Yes, precisely. And if you'd given me 2 seconds to finish my thought, I would have said that. Oh, you're actually letting me talk now. Great. If you've already been here, it means you've seen things you aren't supposed to have seen, and you know things that you aren't supposed to know. This doesn't look like a path in the woods if reality seems distorted. It's because reality is distorted.
Very literal.
So you knew this could happen. You knew we'd be able to restart like this.
The music is cool, but you can turn off things like the boil and everything too. Neat.
I know all sorts of things, which is why you should listen to me. That's not really an answer. Look, if the world around you is changing, especially all the way out here, then that means you're nearing the point of no return. Whatever happens next, that's it. There won't be any more do-overs. So you'd better take things seriously.
Chapter 3.
Don't worry. We only need this one last go at things. You'd better hope that's true. And don't let that inflated ego get in the way of doing your job.
If there's still a princess at the cabin, maybe we can salvage things. Maybe if we just grovel and apologize, things can go back to how they were before.
Don't be so pathetic. I know you're broken, but come on.
Cut it out, will you? We need to be tough right now. And you're making it so much harder than it has to be. So stop whining.
You said yourself that you know more than you're letting on. If you want me to go to the cabin, you'd better tell us everything. It feels like I'm being pulled in 100 different directions. You'd better all listen to me when the time comes to make a choice. If I don't slay her, if I just stay here or do anything else, and we hit this point of no return, then what happens? No matter what happens next, it seems like our answers are at the cabin. We might as well see this through. Silently go there, I'm done, bye. If I just stay here... Make sure everyone's on the same page.
So what if I'm speaking my mind? It's not like I've ever really gotten a say in things.
What a crock of shit. Yeah, you stabbed us last time. Repeatedly.
Yeah, I guess he did,
It
didn't
didn't
he?
even work. It doesn't count.
We died. If you didn't submit to her, for all we know, that wouldn't have happened.
It's the punishment you all deserved for not listening to me. To her.
I wonder how many different yous there are in this game, and how many different combinations of yous could make it to this point, and then have this like infighting going on.
Aside from our sulking friend, I don't think we have much to worry about. You're still the one in charge here, and I don't think that's ever going to change. Second he tries something, I'll put a stop to it.
I appreciate that grumpy voice in my head. Yeah, let me question the narrator a bit here as well.
I can't. Anything I say at this point is far more likely to accelerate the unraveling of this place than it is to actually help you do your job.
Fine, man. Continue to be as unhelpful as ever.
In fact, I probably shouldn't have even said that.
No take backsies.
Trust that if you've been here before, it means you know how dangerous she is, and that you know I'm not lying to you about her. Really? That's it? That's all we're getting out of you?
That the god princess is dangerous?
He
Thanks.
just wants to keep things going the way they are. But we've been given a second chance to do right by her. She can build something better than this. She can build something better than us. We just have to let her do it.
I get it. You're conflicted. You've been through a lot, but I really have to be firm here. I will tell you one thing, which is that even now you are capable of stopping her and saving the world from ruin. You always have been, and you always will be. Do with that what you will.
No, you've convinced me. No matter what happens next, it seems like our answers are at the cabin. We need to see this through.
Good. We're all on the same page. It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up at the cabin on the hill. You'll find the princess within, as I'm sure you already know. End her. That's it? No final words of advice? I'd rather not waste any more time. I'm sure that any advice I'd give at this point is something you've already heard. That's fine by me. Let's get moving. I'm itching for a rematch.
Best 2 out of 3.
The interior of the cabin is a place that feels long forgotten. There was once an elegance to its construction, carved marble columns holding a high arched roof, vaulted windows letting in the weak starlight. But that is how it was. Now there is a growth that has overtaken it.
Still
A
the
viscous
knife.
fluid seeps from cracks in the stone walls, and it congeals into chaotic streaks of writhing nerves and wet clumps of living meat.
The description is awful, and the like, not a poor description, it's just upsetting. There's like flies everywhere. There's all those buzzing flies.
That's horrible. You did this. The only furniture of note is a pulsating pedestal, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
I'll be so... What if I just went down with nothing? It's that mirror again, and this time it's blocking the door. You didn't mention the mirror last time either. Why? He clearly didn't see it. How are we supposed to get to the basement? There's no door. There's just a mirror where the door used to be. I'm just going to approach the mirror.
You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it. Almost as if you don't see it. But you must, because it's right there in front of you.
You're only supposed to be reporting facts. You don't know shit about this,
All we
apparently.
see is a damn mirror. It really is, just like last time. Are we really hallucinating? Why here? Why now?
Smash it. Smash it to pieces. It's the only thing keeping us from her.
Don't you want to know what we'll see in there? We won't be able to see anything if we smash it.
Nah, I'm with him on this one. Smash it. Let's get violent already.
It's really
Do whatever you
itching.
want with it. The mirror isn't real, so how you handle it doesn't matter, aside from wasting dangerous amounts of time.
Wipe
You
it
reach
clean.
forward and drag your hand across the door leading to the basement. As if on command, it slowly slides open, scraping against the stone floor, its ancient hinges moaning as it reveals the dim path ahead.
So curious if smashing it would have mattered, and now it sounds like I'm about to unintentionally proceed without the knife. I knew that was a risk, but I thought I would have a chance.
Why am I not surprised?
Maybe I
You
still
step
will.
forward
No,
into the
no
darkness.
knife.
The stairs leading down to the basement are at once both narrow and grandiose. A high-vaulted ceiling stretches up into a
thought it said
gloom beyond
narrow.
your sight, while walls wet with tumorous growths press in uncomfortably at your sides.
It's not like anything
You
else
feel
is
both
nice.
unprotected and trapped, at once exposed and claustrophobic. The air is thick, its odor an oppressive violence, the metallic scent of fresh blood twisting with the nauseating embers of charred remains. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
You guys are going to keep justifying it in that way, that the living conditions are just poor.
Her voice, a bellowing rage, roars up the stairs.
Was severing the tendons of my ascension not enough for you? Was it not enough to rend my divine heart?
What form is she going to have now? Like full-on monster, right?
Come, see the horrors you've wrought upon my flesh, and feel my hands set upon your throat.
She's so angry with us. Why? Why did you desecrate her? Why couldn't I stop you?
Because you're a wimp.
Got to stop thinking about her like that. It isn't doing anyone any good. She's not some untouchable god. She's an abomination. And we're going to put an end to her once and for all.
Whatever she is now is our fault. If she's an abomination, then what does that make us?
She was going to end the world last time. If I might interject, you didn't make her into an abomination. She's always been what she is. It's why you're here, and it's why your task is so important.
Continue
You
onward
make
then.
your way to the bottom of the stairs.
Not especially ready for what we're about to see.
The chamber's walls are painted in blood, a deep, sickening red that drips down in clotted streams onto the charred corpses that make up its floor. This place reeks of torment, of ripped skin and burning bone.
Oh, whoa. Even her dress has like veins and is like skin and flesh, I presume. She's got like horns and stuff. Her heart is laid bare.
The princess stands in its center,
Ugh.
muscles flayed and bare and weeping, draped in a tattered dress of her own skin. Her heart beats from its place in her open chest.
It's a cool visual.
Do you know what I'm going to do to you?
There's not so much a moment of hesitation before she steps forward. Her chains pull taut, holding fast as she strains against them. The cuff around her wrist digs deeper into her skin. Blood drips from the
magic.
place where metal meets flesh. And then, with a nauseating sound,
God,
the
she
skin
de-gloved
tears.
herself.
It plops to the ground, and she pulls her red, glistening arm free from her bindings.
We don't have a knife.
She is loose, and she is coming for you.
Oh man, her like hooves as well.
End it. It's the punishment you all deserve for what you did to her. It's the punishment I deserve for letting it happen.
Screw that. We can win. We've done it before and we'll do it again, only this time we'll make it out the other side. Hell, she's practically done most of the work for us. We don't even have a weapon. It doesn't matter. I refuse to go out any way that isn't kicking and screaming.
Given up on destroying the world. What happened to you? Wait, we don't have to do this. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Please just listen. Fight back. I think I'm just gonna fight her.
Still unarmed, you charge towards the princess.
It's now or never. Let's make it a beautiful blaze of glory.
The heartbeat is really drumming in my ears. It's quite intense.
Horrifying squelch. You are unwound.
Unwound? What a horrifying way to describe that.
I hope you weren't planning on dying. We're going to make this last forever.
Oh my god.
Huh. I feel cold. I've never felt cold before.
I didn't really feel like I did anything. What the hell? Did she just like collapse in on herself? True to her word, do not die by her hand. Something has taken her away. It's left something else
She's
in
gone.
her place.
Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
I don't know where she went, and I don't know how we'd even go about looking for her. The narrator is gone. I think I'm supposed to look at the mirror. Approach the mirror.
I'm begging you, don't do this.
The mirror never scared you before.
It's different now. It feels... I don't know. Final.
Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
I think
I
she's
don't
gone,
want to look
dude.
at us.
Very interesting, the amount of mystery that they had surrounding the princess. But that's like obvious. That's what you expect. I really didn't think our identity would be a mystery, and I think that's really cool.
This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final.
Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
That's kind of dumb that the two bits of dialogue repeated like
I
that.
don't want to look at us.
The voices feel small, distant as you approach. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. It's you. You are alone in a place that is empty. It is quiet here. Proceed to the cabin? You are at the cabin. Doesn't seem like it so much. Approach her.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
What are you? The gift of a fragile vessel? Is this the end of the world? Let her out of there. Do you know the narrator? Are you what sent me to slay the princess? Are you what trapped me here? Do you know about the worlds beyond this place? Are you the princess? Do we know each other? What happens now? Attack. Or destroy my body? How about just what happens now?
Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them.
This is a love story after all, right?
There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
The opening thing, that starting screen mentioned the differing perspectives of your playthroughs rather than differing endings and things. Aren't you scared that I'll find a way to kill you? How much will I forget? How many more pieces of you do I have to find? And what if I don't let you do this to me? I was sent to slay the princess to stop her from destroying the world. If I help you, is that what you're going to do?
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
You're being semantic. What are you going to do if I help you?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
Very cosmic in scale, isn't it? Aren't you scared that I'll find a way to kill you? How much will I forget? How many more pieces? Yeah, aren't you scared?
I have not lived. I am not afraid to die.
How many more pieces?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
And what if I don't let you do this?
Then we will be here forever, as we are now. Unfinished, dry, hollow.
Is there an ending specifically for like 100%ing the game and exploring every corner? That's pretty cool. I assume I'll forget everything, but I might as well ask.
Everything. Until we meet again.
I don't think I want to wait at the end of the world with this forever. Make me forget.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
The suddenness of that cutoff was great. Everything goes dark, and you die. An unwound vessel. Bring the fury to her.
You're on a path in the woods.
The
And at
real
the end
Slay
of
the
that
Princess
path
starts
is
here.
a cabin.
You'll know it when you see
And in
it.
the basement of that
Those
cabin
are the achievements, by
is
the
a
way.
princess.
Wow. Is that possibly true, that the game isn't a matter of replaying it, finding the new branches, it's exploring the corners. The fact that actually finding an ending has now opened up new pathways and things, so it won't be an exact repeat. And if so, how many different endings do you need to uncover for things to stop changing? Or maybe it's simply changing in the sense that she described, where nothing ends, it's only remade, remolded. Very interesting questions. The game lives up to what I hoped it would be. That was a very interesting experience. I don't think I'm the type of person to play it 100 times to find every possible everything. But if you are, I will have a Steam link down below. It has an overwhelmingly positive rating on Steam, and I understand why now. I'm also much, much, much more motivated to try and get around to Scarlet Hollow sooner than I have. I've been putting that one off a long time. It's a cool-ass game. I'm glad I checked it out. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm looking forward to maybe talking about this one with you all in the comments. I hope to see you again soon.